Coming up on Smart Tech today, it is our first video episode. Matthew Cassinelli is joining us live and in color from Las Vegas. You know that rule about everything happening in Vegas staying in Vegas? No, not today. Matthew's got a lot to share as we go through the news. Smart Tech today is brought to you from LastPass Studios. You're focused on security, but are your employees? LastPass can ensure that they are by making access and authentication seamless. Visit lastpass.com/twit to learn more.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This episode of Smart Tech Today is brought to you by IT Pro TV. IT Pro TV provides IT training that's effective and entertaining with access to virtual labs and practice tests. Visit itpro.tv/smart for an additional 30% off for the lifetime of your active subscription. Use code SMART30 at checkout. And by Expressvpn. Protect your online privacy with one click. Yes, it's that easy. For 3 extra months free with a 1-year package, go to expressvpn.com/STT. And by Mint Mobile. They provide the same premium network coverage you're used to, but at a fraction of the cost because everything is online. Mint Mobile makes it easy to cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month with their 3-month introductory plan and get the plan shipped to your door for free at mintmobile.com/STT. Welcome back to Smart Tech Today, where we explain the exciting, the dynamic, and the sometimes confusing subject that is the Internet of Things. I am coming at you live and in Technicolor as Mikah Sargent.
And I'm Matthew Cassinelli, live from Vegas at CES.
Whoa.
So I'm here in this nice little hotel room space to record this episode ahead of the show starting tomorrow. So yeah, I guess I won't be bringing you live in person, but in-person research at least.
There you go. Yeah. the research, the follow-up, it will all be live and in person, boots on the ground. In fact, we've got some other folks who are there. You are sort of there as an independent individual doing your thing.
I'm an official social media influencer now.
What?
It says it on my badge.
Social media influencer. That's incredible. You have to save that forever and feel good about it. And that is pretty fantastic because I, of course, am happy that you are my co-host and that I get to steal you for a little bit of time away from CES to do the show as we talk about all the stuff. There have been some announcements already. That's kind of how this works. Folks will send out their press releases early in the week, and then you see them and you go and check them out in person. And so there's going to be some stuff that you'll probably see throughout the week and some stuff that I haven't even, seen in press releases yet. I'm looking forward to getting hopefully text messages from you with photos of cool things that you see.
Sure.
And whatever that happens to bring. But I thought we would kick things off with an interesting wearable, or hearable rather. So for folks who don't know, this is a new category of wearable device that they have coined. I don't know who they are, but they have done it. And they call it hearable, a hearable or hearables. And that's things like the AirPods Pro, Amazon's Echo Buds, and Samsung's Galaxy Buds. Thank you.
Yeah, one of my friends actually got those for Christmas.
Oh, nice. Interesting.
I haven't played around with it yet, so I'll have to. I always I'm scared because I don't want to be like, oh, they're not as good as AirPods. And then, I don't know, that's just dumb.
Leo swears by the sound on them. He says that they have incredible sound. So I don't know. But, they're expensive. The AirPods Pro are expensive, and some of the other offerings out there are expensive. And so lots of different companies are working to bring some form of hearable to the market. And the first one that I wanted to talk about is JBL. So JBL has a $100 pair of AirPod alternatives. They call them the JBL Tuned 220 TWS.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, TWS. It just kind of. These are, I mean, they look like not AirPods Pro. They look like AirPods quite, and they, fit in your ear like AirPods, but they come in a bunch of different colors, which is cool, and some green, some blue, some pink, some black, white, and a nice sandy gold color, I suppose, which is nice. There's not a whole lot to say about the devices themselves. Instead, what I think that is great is that if you're not able to afford an expensive pair of wireless headphones or earphones or whatever hearable, then there are some other options out there for you where you can get a similar experience for less money.
It's interesting. Like they have the 220 TWS is slightly less than the 300 TWS, which does have the like smart assistance and water resistance built in. So it is like, I like the different levels of options there. I guess you could get like older AirPods if you wanted them to be cheaper now, but just having like a variety for what you need makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So good on JBL. And again, if there's one place where you can sort of outmaneuver Apple, it's on color, because they tend not to be very experimental with colors, particularly in the early stages of their devices. So we've released things that are like AirPods, but they come in multiple colors is a good get.
Well, I'll have to see. It looks like they will be at CES, so maybe I'll try these in person.
Maybe you shouldn't put.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have cleaning supplies.
I hope so. I refused when I was at CES. I refused to use any of the VR stuff because when I was in high school, I remember my PCP teacher. That is not a drug in this instance. It is the principles of chemistry and physics teacher telling us about the reason why we had to take our safety goggles and put them in the UV sanitizer after every class, because there's a brain-eating amoeba whose favorite entry to your brain is through your eyes. And so,
Perfect.
I could not put any VR goggles on my face because all I could think about was that brain-eating amoeba slithering through my eye into my brain.
That's like when I was sick a while ago and people are like, use the neti pot. And I was like, I think I just rule out anything that it's like, by the way, there is a brain amoeba, potential liability. It's like, I'll just wait it out, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the over-under on the chance of getting a brain amoeba? Well, I think I'm just going to skip out on that.
Well, I guess I didn't know it could go through your eyes also, so maybe I won't be trying any VR experiences or
any yummy mucus
look through
membranes.
like something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yuck. If you're going to listen to those devices, maybe they'll just have new little, what am I trying to say? Like the pads, the little silicone pads. Everybody gets their own pair. But that just seems wasteful. I don't know. You know what? Let us know. If you do go check out JBL, what are they doing to stop germs from spreading to everyone everywhere?
We'll see if I make it to next week also.
Oh, no. We try to talk and you just you're just taken over by the what is that? A
brain
parasite?
slug.
Yeah, a brain slug.
Futurama.
Slurm.
This brain slug is great. You should get one, Micah.
Oh God. Let's talk about Nano Leaf.
Yeah.
Nano Leaf is awesome. And I actually soon am going to have I won't, but we will have a hands-on tech video out where I am going over the Nano Leaf panels that I have in my home. And Nano Leaf is out with a new system. They're always making new systems, and then I want those new systems, and they're not the current system that I have, and then I feel like I'm missing out. These are, hexagonal? Yeah, hexagonal panels, and they are sort of more intelligent and interactive than the current ones are. So I'll explain. It says it's an interactive, intelligent lighting system that a fully integrated lighting system for the user right from the comfort of their home. It intuitively learns, senses, and reacts to users' needs in a way that eliminates the often complicated and counterintuitive requirements of today's smart home. So, yeah, it's called the Learning Series, and essentially what it lets you do is it starts to look at your activity as you're going through different spaces in your home. It can figure out, okay, I should turn on the lights now, or I should turn them off, and sort of help provide an AI schedule as opposed to just you having to go in and fiddle around with everything, which can be kind of complicated.
I do spend so much time just like over optimizing all of my little scenes or whatnot, and it would be nice to just like have it figure it out on its own a little bit. And I don't know, does it recommend it to you, or does it just start doing it? Or I guess we'll have to see. Yeah,
they're still very early. They just kind of say learning series, learning series, learning series, and then you go, got it. Now this is interesting. You know, the first panels that they came out with were triangular, and so there were 3 sides on which you could connect other panels, and then they came out with the squares, so there were 4 sides on which you could connect other panels, and now they're out with a hexagon, and so it's got 6 sides of connectivity. So the idea is that you continue to have more and more sides of connectivity, which allows you to create a new piece of artwork in a way that you might want. I personally like the Nano Leaf canvas the most, the square ones, because it's the most intuitive to me, and I can treat it more like a light than I think I would. I mean, it is still kind of art on my wall, but it feels more like art, or it feels less like art, I think, than the 6-sided hexagons would. And also, as much as I love the Bee Movie, I don't want to constantly think I'm inside of a beehive. It would be a little bothersome.
Isn't it? I mean, now that it's 2020, it's perfect that they're hexagons, because that's like a thing where every old movie, when you want it to make it look like it's the far future, they'll paint the outside of the cop car with like hexagon shapes, so it looks all fancy. So
you know what? That's a good.
The future
point.
Is now.
The future is here and it's now. And I was just watching a show the other day where the entire outside of the self-driving vehicle was hexagons.
Yeah, totally. It's a pretty bad trope, because it's just like, want to be in the future? Hexagons.
Okay, Nano Leaf, you lost me. Yeah, hexagon.
Well, they're bringing us into that future.
Oh, so it's real now. The future truly
exactly
is now. I like it. Folks, we do need to take a quick break. I'm excited to say that because of you out there, Smart Tech Today is doing quite well. I mean, we have video. If you've downloaded the video, then you're looking at me while I'm looking at you, and that's very exciting. But that also means that sponsors want to sponsor our show. And the first sponsor today is IT Pro TV. You can kick off 2020 by accelerating your career or getting your IT team certified. IT Pro TV's edutainers blend education and entertainment to make learning IT engaging and fun. You'll get the most out of your learning with practice tests and hands-on learning. You can prepare for tough certification examinations with practice questions. You can take and retake tests to ensure you're ready before you sit for the exam. You can try out your skills on virtual machine labs with multiple instances of Windows Server and desktop clients on your OS X, or your Mac OS rather, Linux, iOS device, and Windows platform. You can explore the different IT career paths that IT Pro TV can help you reach. That's entry-level IT, systems administration, desktop support, cloud technology, and so much more. Premium members can take advantage of their one-on-one learning coach services should you need a little extra guidance. They are the official video training partner for CompTIA and have 12 CompTIA on-demand courses, including CompTIA A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus certs. Become part of IT Pro TV's family with either a standard membership, that's video only, or a premium membership, video plus labs and practice tests. Grow your career at itpro.tv/smart. That is our special code, itpro.tv/smart, and use the code SMART30 to receive 30% off. That's itpro.tv/smart and use the code SMART30 for an additional 30% off for the lifetime of your active subscription. IT Pro TV. Build or expand your IT career and enjoy the journey. Thanks so much to IT Pro TV for sponsoring Smart Tech Today. And thanks to you folks out there who use that code to let them know that we sent you. All righty. I found this fascinating, and it was a little bit off the beaten path of what's going on at CES. So I thought we'll take a quick breather, step away from CES before it's even kicked off, and talk about this interesting smart office project. So Ben Lovejoy over at 9to5 Mac put together this little detail. It was a team member posted this on his Facebook page, and it talks about the HomeKit-enabled smart setup for their office building. This is a Vancouver waterfront park, and they were, they needed an office setup, and so the company put together a Wi-Fi smart office. And here's a little bit from the document. It says, my task was to cover with Wi-Fi the whole floor of a multi-story building, as well as to install smart blinds, sound, TVs, etc., and connect it all into a smart home system. The company that works on this floor operates the internet-based business, hence the internet is critically important for them. There can be up to 500 Wi-Fi devices connected at one time on that floor, while the speed of each user is almost unaffected. They used a switch that had 48 ports for cameras, automation equipment, iPads in the walls, of course, power for those iPads, and a 10G switch, which powered the access points, all also offering 10G. A 10 gigabit network is quite ridiculous, and having those all those access points with 10 gigabit access as well is pretty doggone cool. As well as some cameras set up throughout the space, and it looks like Lutron Caseta devices in the home as well, or in the office space, and HomePods as the speakers around the space.
Yeah, mounted up on the little walls and everything.
Yeah. So I thought this was interesting as a concept that is, sort of outside the existing setup. Now, it looks like this is all, they've got that 10 gig switch and the Ubiquity software running there to show what's going on across the entire network. And it looks like the whole system is either Ubiquity, which is the maker of the internet control devices, including the Wi-Fi access points, and some, like I said, Lutron Caseta in-wall switches, which I use. They're fantastic, they're reliable, and they're Wi-Fi connected, which is really great.
Yeah, well, this is like overboard a little bit, but it's especially he's saying like all of the smart stuff is, oh no, wait, okay, just kidding. Not all of it is wireless, I was going to say, but most of the equipment is just wireless. It seems like one of the images that they have shows an iPad on the wall with all the lights on. I am just wondering, like, how does the room management work there? Where can somebody just is like turning off the lights in your room or something like that for you?
Yeah, that's a good point. If each of the iPads has access to each of the different devices, and then they're shutting off or turning those on, that would be a little annoying for sure. Let's see.
It is interesting. I feel like we almost never hear of actual HomeKit installations for like large scale things. I mean, I guess maybe the HomeKit part implies it's just for homes or something like that, but it does seem like usually people go with larger scale stuff. So it does seem like pretty slick.
You've got
iPad in the wall. I got to put my iPad in a wall mount.
I need to get an iPad that is not mine, the one I use all the time, that I can.
Yeah. I mean,
What, Micah, stop what you're saying. You do not need to get a new iPad that's an old iPad that you want to put in your wall. But you do. No, you don't. Okay. I'll save it for later. There is, I'm sorry, folks. There are, let's see, there's the Lutron Radio. It's just basically the device that talks to all of the different controls. There are some motion and light sensors in the build-up. There are 66 shades that are battery operated. That seems a little bit troublesome. I wonder how often those batteries have to be replaced. There are Pico keypads. Those are made by Lutron as well, and they are just little devices that you can, push to control the shades and the lights. 6 in-wall iPads, 6 HomePods, 5 HomeKit TVs, 5 Apple TVs, 2 HomeKit soundbars. I wonder what soundbar they're using. I really want to know that. A Wattbox IP controllable power strip with 12 independently controllable outlets, a 48 power over Ethernet switch, which of course powers many low voltage devices and the cameras as well. The Unify router, 10 gig optical core switch, 2 10 gig power over Ethernet switches, 4 10 gig Unify access points. Of course, the complex wireless network setup, several full HD and 4K HDR cameras with 3 times optical zoom, and everything is ran with the Cat 6A and Cat 5E cables. The project was done by 2 people in 1 month. Incredible.
I thought you were going to say like 1 day or something.
Oh, if that happened,
definitely
I would be
definitely not. Yeah,
really wowed. I want to go to I need to call up these people and say, hi, I need to stop by your office. It's very important for me that I check out what you've got going on there. Yeah, pretty cool.
The whole battery powered smart blinds thing, he's not going to be super happy about. The next story that I just dropped in the document is IKEA smart blinds did get their HomeKit support. So that's an awesome, it sucks for that guy, but it's great for everybody else. And this, I think we were mentioning, I don't remember if it was last week or a couple weeks ago, but just like, don't bank on something getting HomeKit support until it actually does. So I'd say now is that time, at least if you're looking at smart blinds. Seems like the future is here. It's 2020.
It's 2020.
You don't have to open your blinds anymore. Yeah.
Yes.
You have hexagon blinds.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to paint hexagons on my blinds.
Oh yeah, exactly. They're smart. See?
Yeah. Now you know. That's the warning. So everybody stays away from my home because they're like, oh God, it's one of those. He's got smart blinds. Probably everything's smart. I can't control anything in his house. I do want to check out those blinds at some point. So now that it does officially have HomeKit support, I think that I will have to. I'm closer than ever to an IKEA, so clearly I need to go to one and check it out.
Ooh, we should do a trip. That's right. Isn't it the only one is near me? So
yeah, that is true.
Although our podcast might break up by the end of it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true too. Yeah, we have to be very careful and not have too many Swedish meatballs.
Or it's just we come out with like $1,500 receipts for both of us. It's like, what just happened? Like,
we look around, our hair is just all over the place.
I did see it. Their little shortcut buttons too that we were talking about are shipping also, which is cool. Not to be confused with the Shortcuts app. So great job, IKEA, jumping in on that branding.
Why do I have a Kleidenspiel sofa? I just came in here for blinds. Now, everyone's favorite company, Ring, has an upgrade to its security devices, as well as some solar-powered lighting, which is interesting. So that, of course, was a joke that I was making there. Ring has kind of unpopular and notorious for its partnering with police forces. And you know what? There are shows where you can learn more about that for now. Tech News Weekly, we've interviewed several people about it. But Ring does have some new stuff. There's an access controller so that you can offer gate access. So if you, I'm sure, Matthew, you've got a smart
gated
gate
community
outside your home.
I mean, I have like a picket fence. Maybe I should put it on that.
Yeah. and then no one...
No, there's a gap on the other side, so it doesn't really help.
And no one can hop the fence.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it's just an update so that folks who do have gate access. I mean, this stuff's very expensive stuff, so I'm not surprised that somebody with the ability to purchase the $299 wall-mounted control panel can afford to have a gate access control in their home.
Yeah.
As well as some lighting, which we did see that Amazon had done the FCC documentation for being able to have smart lighting, where they were getting, the go ahead for the signals that these devices send out. And so they will have, they're solar powered, and they
got like a floodlight for and then steps and path lights and everything. So your whole fancy, it is like, we're just not homeowners, so it's clearly not in our realm, but that would be nice just to like have it on, even knowing that it's on or something like that when somebody's coming over, and keep it all lit properly.
Yeah, I like the idea for sure, and I just hope that it's less expensive than the Philips Hue devices have been, because those get very pricey.
Yeah, well, maybe we're not in that realm yet.
Again,
maybe I have to, if Chip, maybe I do hope in the long run, connected home over IP or P-Choip.
P-Choip.
Hopefully that does make products a little bit cheaper.
That would be nice.
And unlike the security front, I did see actually, even today, Ring is like allowing you to opt out of the sending your videos to law enforcement if you want, which I think is very smart. I think it is one of those things where it's like, even just having the choice almost makes a difference, because like maybe you do actually want to help if you have crime in the neighborhood or something like that, but just like not when it just kind of happens and you read about it in the news, that's a little worse. So I'm glad that they're giving, like they just updated their app with more privacy, their control center.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And sorry. Every time we talk about this topic, it is always, it's always a mess. So that is that. And you can check out the article there to read more about what Ring is offering and what they currently offer and what they don't offer and all of those things. Ring, ring. That's a phone call telling me to move on to the next topic, which is
lovely segue.
Thank you so much. I'm getting better. It's just my second day of doing podcasts, and I'm getting better at segues. There are no smart segues this year at CES.
I literally think I overheard like a secret conversation about a Segway like smart thing coming or something. So
you were passing some details back and forth, and you heard it. Nice. Well, you can share that with us if you want to, unless you're worried about
I don't know. I think it was very brief. I think it was like somebody was like, oh, I'm meeting with them in the future. So maybe I shouldn't say this, but.
The idea that they just, the Segway police just encroach on your location.
Just this is sliding up. Yeah. I did like when I got into Vegas, like one of the first things I saw was like 6 people on Segways at the convention center. So that was pretty funny.
Oh, man. Yes. Now, what would a smart home a smart home topic be if it didn't include bathrooms? Moen, which of course is the company that you may know for making faucets and shower heads and other cool plumbing stuff, has a smart water leak detector, as well as an update to its FlowSense software. And smart FlowSense, yum, and smart faucet. So these devices are like the smart water detector, I think is a really cool thing. I don't care what company you get it from. There are lots of different smart water detector devices out there on the market, and they do what they say on the box. They let you detect if you have a water leak. So you might place this in your laundry room, and say, you were washing laundry and something happened and your water started to spill out on the floor. You would get a notification before things got really bad and you weren't able to take care of the mess that, floods your basement or something like that. They can go in any space that has water, the potential for, flooding or something like that. And these are, in my opinion, a great way to save money in the long run and save money on home repairs and things like that. And when you pair them with Flow by Moen, that is a device that will shut off your water. It is a water shut-off device. And so
oh, wow.
I detect water leakage, and I know that this is an issue, so I'm going to turn off the water. How great is that? I think that's so smart. That's such a great idea.
This definitely would be nice. Over the holiday break, I went into like my parents' bathroom at night and stepped in what was water, and they were like 20 minutes away from like $50,000, or I don't know how much, but just like it would have leaked through down below to the garage and stuff like that. So this is like $50. I mean, if you own the home, a couple, that's like almost negligible compared to the cost of actually fixing everything.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Maybe I should send this to my dad.
You absolutely should. It also will detect freezing temperatures, so you can get a notification there. Living in Missouri, that was always an issue for me. We had to drip our faucets in certain conditions so that the pipes didn't freeze. And one time, somebody forgot to drip his pipes, not naming any names, but maybe pointing. And if you're watching, then you know who I'm talking about. And so the pipes froze. Thank goodness the ice did not expand in such a way as to burst the pipes, which is something that can happen often. And so I was able to regain access to the water after that. But that is a huge issue. And then it can also detect high humidity. So if you are worried about mold and mildew growth in your laundry room, for example, you can get this, and then you would have a
I don't even have a fan in my bathroom either, so we have that same problem as if you don't leave the bathroom doors open after you shower in the window and stuff. Or I need a window sensor also, because then I leave the window open all day long, and it's like trying to heat the house, and we're like, why is it so cold in here?
It's all creeping up through the bathroom window. No!
Just need sensors all over my bathroom. That's the solution.
Yes. And a checklist before you leave the bathroom. It's, okay, now I need to do this and do this. No, I mean, that would help. A humidity sensor, or just an exhaust fan in the bathroom would be good. So that is what Moen is up to, and we'll see. Go ahead.
They did update their faucet too, so you can like use the force and wave in front of it and turn on the water faucet.
Wait, how does it know?
There's a little sensor right there.
Oh, so it's not the real force.
Yeah. And it doesn't have HomeKit or anything either, but I think it's showing that you can set the temperature also, which I thought was interesting. Like, I don't exactly know how that works. Like, can it heat up the water for you? Like, my water doesn't get that hot that fast. So I don't know, something like that would actually be nice, because it's like set the water at 100 degrees. Yeah.
Now, why am I wanting...
Hey, wax on, wax off.
Yeah. Why am I wanting... I guess, okay, yeah. If I couldn't reach the faucet, if I had... Sometimes I have been cooking and cutting raw chicken. And do I want raw chicken on my kitchen handle? No.
Yeah,
so
actually, I have that. That happens to me a lot. Is like my hands are... I don't want to touch the faucet because it's like I'm going to get stuff on it. So
I go through so many nitrile gloves because of cutting chicken and not wanting to dirty my faucets. So I think
what kind of gloves?
Nitrile, Nitrile. That's the replacement for latex, because a lot of people are allergic to latex.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I probably should get more gloves for... I just made chicken the other day, and I think I asked my girlfriend to turn off the water for me because I had stuff on my hands, and I was like, I don't think I want to get this right before CES. So, look, we're already proven. It's like, it does seem silly, the smart faucet stuff, but there is like now even more benefits to it. Besides just ones, like, give me 2 cups of water.
The Safety Zone is my brand of choice. I get them in purple, but now I'm being told that it's nitrile as opposed to nitrile. But maybe I'm pronouncing it the British way, where they sort of cut out some of the pronunciation. Nitrile. And so these nitrile sounds like an elf. Anyway, I'm going to send you the link to the ones that I get. I just have an Amazon subscription that comes to me every once in a while. It's 100 gloves, so 50. I certainly don't cut 50 chicken breasts in a month. So, there's more than enough there, but I will also use them sometimes for other things. And yeah, that is my tip for cutting chicken on
Cooking
this
tip on Smart Tech
show.
Hey, I mean, not like, I don't know, protecting yourself while you're cooking. Now they're going to need a smart glove where it
no.
detects if you have raw chicken on your hands or not.
I like the idea of a smart glove that can say, yes, there's definitely salmonella in this, what's it called? What is that lettuce that always is bad?
Romaine?
Yeah,
romaine.
Thank you, romaine.
Yeah.
Or should I pronounce it romaine?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. I'm very happy you gave me that confirmation. Folks, we're going to take another break. Yes, that's right. Because guess who else is here to support us? It's Expressvpn. And we all know how a VPN protects your privacy and security online, right? That's a given. You turn it on, it keeps you safe, keeps you protected from snoopy snoopers, or if you're at a hotel or near a hotel for CES and you need to get access to a public Wi-Fi, you know VPN protects your privacy there. But did you know that it can take your TV watching experience to the next level by unlocking movies and shows that are only available in other countries? It's a sneaky sneak. You can use ExpressVPN to binge on Doctor Who or Star Trek on the UK Netflix. It's simple. You just fire up the ExpressVPN app, change your location to the UK, refresh Netflix, and that's it. And by the way, folks, I've been crawling through Netflix's terms of service, and Netflix is like, look, we really, it's a thing, but they can't tell you not to use a virtual private network. And I've used ExpressVPN in this way, and it has worked. ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you control where you want sites to think you're located. And you can choose from almost 100 different countries, so just think about all the Netflix libraries you can go through. ExpressVPN works with any streaming service. That's Hulu, the BBC iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. There are hundreds of VPNs out there, but the reason we use ExpressVPN to watch shows is that it's ridiculously fast, and that is very true. Honestly, never buffering or lag any more than I would already have given the wireless connection that I had, and you can stream in HD no problem. A lot of time you get connected and the VPN just suddenly slows everything down, or you run into trouble accessing certain sites, and genuinely, ExpressVPN connects in milliseconds, and while it's active, I can't tell it's on. I forget it's on, and I get to keep streaming or browsing or doing whatever I want to do. ExpressVPN is also compatible with all your devices, legitimately compatible with all of your devices. They have step-by-step tutorials to walk you through setting up ExpressVPN for all your devices. That's phones, that's media consoles, that's smart TVs, and so much more. You go on there, you look at support, you find out which one you want to connect it to, and ExpressVPN has the walkthrough for it. I mean, they even do some clever stuff with DNS management to help you get that figured out. So, ExpressVPN, how do you get it? Well, you visit our special link right now at expressvpn.com/STT, which of course stands for Smart Tech Today. You do that and you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. You're supporting our show. You get to watch what you want, and of course, you're protecting yourself because it's a VPN at expressvpn.com/STT. Thank you, ExpressVPN, for sponsoring this week's episode of Smart Tech Today and for keeping me safe and secure online, and Matthew Cassinelli safe and secure online if he were to connect to the creepy, spooky hotel Wi-Fi. We do appreciate you for sponsoring the show. All right. There is a security system maker out there called Abode who, despite everything, every try that I have to not make this happen, I can't help but read as Adobe the first 6 times I say
me
it.
too.
It is Abode.
It is one of those great names that you're like mad that if you wanted to make a smart home branding name, you're like, dang it, that's so good.
It is very good.
Your humble abode.
Yeah, it's very good. And I say humble abode, but man, when I see Abode, I just think it says Adobe, and I'm like, what? Adobe's getting into smart. Oh, yeah. Abode got me again, you rascally rabbit. So, they are working on an indoor-outdoor security camera. And you know what? Abode makes some really, I'm going to say it, sexy products. They do. They make some really good-looking products. They're well-designed. I would be happy having an Abode system in my house because it just looks so doggone good.
And they're pretty diminutive.
Yes.
Diminutive?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Maybe
pronouncing
add
that
2
poorly.
extra syllables in there. That's what the chat room keeps telling me to do with every word I'm pronouncing. It's diminutive, don't you know? I love you, chat. Just teasing. So Abode has a bunch of stuff too, which I quite like. Because what that means is if you have an Abode system, you use their bridge to connect everything, and then you can build a system out of an occupancy sensor, a smart home power switch, an outdoor siren, an indoor siren, their keypad, the smoke alarm monitor, the water leak sensor, the panic button. I didn't know they had a panic button. A key fob, a system status indicator, which I think is kind of fantastic. If I look up and I can see, okay, everything's good to go with the system in my master bedroom, if I'm laying down. Their multi-sensor, which of course is going to provide different room environment things. The Abode camera, the motion sensor, the wide angle motion camera, the outdoor indoor smart camera, door and window sensors, which is what you need. Well, they've got a bunch of different ones. They've got ones for normal doors and windows. They've got a slim one. They've got a recessed door window sensor, an acoustic glass break sensor, a vibration glass break sensor.
Oh, wow. Whew. They've got something for your whole abode.
Oh, I see. I see what they're doing there. Oh, that's clever. Oh, very clever. So for $319, you can get the secure Iota Kit. It comes with, well, let's see. You get the Iota camera with the built-in motion sensor, 93 decibel siren. You get the key fob, which lets you arm and disarm your system remotely.
Oh my God.
Plus the mini door window sensor, which protects the most common entry point for burglars, which apparently is through your door or window.
Do you watch Bob's Burgers? Because
of course.
You sound like Linda. Like,
oh, my little baby.
It's like a New Yorker. I don't know, but like, oh my God. I totally just want to see you do like a whole HomeKit review in that voice.
See, here's the thing. I can't do Linda Belcher yet, but I'm constantly working on her. So, hit me up with that a little bit later because I do love Linda Belcher. So anyway, I love that there are all of these products that Abode offers, and now they are coming out with a few more to add to the mix.
And it looks, especially because it's mounted on the wall, but it's wireless too, which I think is usually one of the problems is like they have to be wired in order to actually like last any amount of time. So this seems like it'll be a pretty good deal. And they say they have HomeKit coming, so but it's like they haven't released the official product yet. So we'll see then what happens, but
for sure. Now Lutron is also working. So I have talked before. I think that the Lutron system is great. So Lutron is the main company, and the product line that I have in my home is called Caseta. That's CASE with a little doop over it, and then TA. And the Caseta line has their in-wall switches. So I've got them for fans, I've got dimmers, and I've got normal on-off switches. But they also have now motion sensors and repeaters. So if you have a large home, it will get to different spaces throughout your home. The smart motion sensor is, it's a freestanding device, so you don't have to have it plugged into the wall. And it's like very well built to detect motion. It does it 3 times better than the competition, according to Lutron. It has a 10-year battery life, so that's pretty great. You don't have to replace the battery for 10 years. And it's going to be available for only $49.95, which is a really good price for a motion sensor in this category. And again, if you have an older home that maybe has stuff in the walls that blocks signal, or you have a home that is quite large and you are having trouble getting control with other things, then you can use the Caseta repeater, which will be coming soon. Yep. And that's pretty much it there.
It's interesting. I do wish like the other products acted as a repeater also. Like, doesn't Hue create like a whole mesh network?
I believe so. Yeah, they It's either that one or it's the one that has the great smart strip, and I can't think of the name right now.
LifeX?
Yeah, LifeX.
Yeah.
There's one company that does do that, where each device sort of can act as a repeater for the other things in the home, and they're all sort of connected to each other, doing this wonderful, beautiful dance and keeping everything connected in your home. So, yeah, and I think that you can do that with some Lutron products. I remember there being a setting in the app to adjust that. So,
yeah,
I think
but
that's
still,
a smart way to
I guess
do it.
an option is always good. Like,
Well,
if you have a particularly problematic place, or just like don't happen to have an outlet in between one and the other kind of situation.
Let me just write that down. A 3P, a particularly problematic place. We need to just make that a term. A 3P is a particularly problematic place. And what we mean by that is a place with poor Wi-Fi signal or the inability to access certain parts of the home for whatever reason. It makes smart stuff difficult. The connections are much more difficult, the 3P. Now, and I think I can lay down sort of a base rule here. Maybe it's not a rule, but it's a guideline, which is that anytime there is a smart device that is singularly devoted to a specific task as opposed to being devoted to many tasks, 14 out of 15 times it is going to be much better than getting a multi-use device. So in this case, having the repeater that stands alone as a repeater is good. In the case of the Hue Bridge, serving as the device to control all of the Hue lights as opposed to a system where each of the individual lights serves as its own control. That bridge does a very good job of communicating with all of the devices in your home and sort of routing all of that through there. Those devices, those sort of designed and driven to control, simple tasks or specific tasks, I think are almost always better than trying to find, like in this case, piggybacking off of other devices to just have a
it like
repeater on
might
its own.
work, but this is a pretty solid guarantee.
Yes.
Nice.
I think that's a good way to put it.
And reliability is like, especially with your lights. I think there's been a few times where some of the Hue lights that are like furthest away don't work in our house, and you feel like such an idiot because you're like, why won't the lights just turn on? And then somebody else is like, just turn on the freaking light switch. Like, you don't have to do this.
Yes.
And it's like, oh yeah, like,
which I hate. I don't want to, you want it to just work every time. And that is what sells people on the experience. If they're not having trouble accessing stuff, then they're sold on the experience. But the moment that stuff fails, it's difficult for people who are new to it. We give that stuff lots of room to fail, I think. Not everybody's
that's true.
down for that.
If I didn't, I would just go crazy. So,
right. Yeah, exactly. I would just be angry all the time. Which I'm certainly not angry all the time. How would you like to have ALEXA in your car?
only if it's a Lamborghini.
Well, good news. You get a car and you get a car. Well, that's not true. Lamborghini and Rivian, which I don't even know who or what that is.
Yeah.
Are for some reason getting ALEXA voice control. So you can say, hey, boo-boo, it's hot in here. Can you make it cool? And maybe ALEXA will let you control your vehicle. So you get to use it for climate control. You can use it for the windows. Hey, boo-boo, roll those windows down. That's kind of fun. As well as other basic car functions. So you can also...
You know what? I have, it says here that you can open and close the frunk because Rivian cars have the front trunk. But like I have a Subaru where I can't even reliably open the trunk unless the entire car is off and the front door is open. Like there's times where I'm trying to open the trunk and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do it because the car is still on and it just won't let me. So that would be pretty nice to just force it to happen.
That's interesting. Is it a safety feature?
Yeah, I think it's like if you have the trunk open and the door's closed, the exhaust goes into the trunk and gets sucked in. But it's still like I'm like, I'm not in the car or whatever, and I just want to open the trunk, and it's like beep beep beep, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, I'm so stupid. I just blame myself, even though it's a manufacturer thing. But
now, is Rivian? I'm guessing must be an electric car company because
yeah, they're relatively new. I think I even just saw it's like electric adventure vehicles, but they have like a whole thing. I saw this a couple weeks ago. Their cars have like tank turns where it takes all of the different wheels and rotates them in opposite directions so that the car can just spin in place. Like it can just do a 360 and you can that's like the ultimate parallel parking. It's just back straight in and then just like rotate your car sideways.
The future is so freaking weird.
Yeah, it's like these are super fancy.
It also it looks like Amazon is ordering their electric delivery vehicles from Rivian.
Oh wow!
Oh, I'm sorry, not Rivian, but Rivian is how that's pronounced. There's the truck and the SUV that. Oh God, they've got a green SUV. Oh, look at her.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Oh my!
I'm pretty sure it might be out of your price range. Maybe
it's okay.
They are like saying it has. Even in remote locations it says poor reception. So I don't know about no reception, but
it can wade in water up to over or more than 3 feet. You can go up to more than 3 feet into the water, which I always need to do every day on my way to work. Oh my God, it's so pretty.
Maybe in a couple years in California.
Oh, too soon. Look at her. She's gorgeous. Sorry.
Yeah. They're pretty nice cars.
Now I've got a car I aspire to own. I don't even care about cars, but
yeah, you didn't even know this like 10 minutes ago.
No.
And now you're like, I need one.
I don't even care about, I don't know what even are cars, but this one's so pretty.
Well, I'll just be over here in my Lamborghini with Alexa.
Literally.
Oh God, I can't say.
You said the word. All right. From now on, we got 3 strikes, and then I'm just kidding.
I'm out of the podcast.
Look, it's starting at $72,500. It's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Do they take checks?
Only cashier's checks. I wonder if I can order it with Amazon Prime same-day delivery.
They just drive up and just get out of the car, and then they're like, I guess I'll just walk back. Like,
oh. See, here's how you get me. You say, hey, this comes in green. And then suddenly I'm like, okay, I need to buy it. Here's all my money.
Do you have the iPhone in green?
Of course I have the iPhone.
I mean, yeah, I should have assumed, but just double checking.
I also have this weird case on it right now. I got case shamed at a booth, a Pepcom booth. This person was like, hey, you should put a case on that phone. And I was like, I don't put cases on my phone. And she said, well, you should really put this case on the phone. And I said, fine. So I put the case on the phone. And then as I was walking away from the table, she turned to my colleague and said, he's going to take that case off the second he walks away from this booth, isn't he? And as I was walking away from the booth, I was taking the case off of the phone. But I kept it because she didn't want me to leave the table without taking it. And now it's on my phone. So hello, friend out there who gave me this cool iridescent case. I now have it on my green iPhone.
Yes.
That keeps
I'm using
scratches.
my the like battery case for the iPhone, the chunky one, so that I can
chunky baby.
Not worry about battery life at all. And also the like quick photo thing. I mean, I was going to use it today, but it turns out nothing is happening today.
You were going to use it when you were spying on the Segway people? Thank you.
Yeah. All of the secret products, just recording the guy's conversation. Now, I figured that was a little not cool. But
well, isn't this is... Oh,
that's fine talking about it on a podcast, though.
You're in Nevada. I don't know what the rules are there. This is, or at least it was, a single-party consent state, so would have been okay.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know about Nevada.
Single-party consent. What the hell sentence is that?
Here's the thing. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Segway has the chairs. That's
is that a Segway wheelchair? And it's not funny. I'm genuinely asking.
The egg chair. You can be the bad guy from Sonic.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Eggman. Now, I wonder, if you get in a car in California and you drive in that car to another state and you never get out of the car, are you still technically in California?
No.
What if you sprinkle the ground beneath your feet with dirt from California?
You're on California, but you're not in California.
You know what, officer? I'm on California right now. You can't arrest me for recording this person.
Isn't that I know that that's the thing in like the UK. They say you stand online instead of in line.
You do stand.
I mean, like
on
the
queue.
queue concept is also,
Yeah.
I remember like in Italy, somebody's like, we're queuing. And we're all like, what are you talking about? Like,
soil is 9/10 of the law. That's what I heard anyway. We have a little bit more to talk about that is not nonsense, hopefully. But before we do that, I've got one more sponsor for you folks. How exciting. Thank you, Mint Mobile, for bringing us this episode of Smart Tech Today. If you're still using one of the big wireless providers this year, have you asked yourself what you're paying for? Between expensive retail stores, inflated prices, and hidden fees, you are being taken advantage of because they know you'll pay. Enter Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile provides the same premium network coverage you're used to, but at a fraction of the cost because everything is online. Mint Mobile saves on retail locations and overhead, then passes those savings directly to you. For this very show, I carry around an Android device with me, as well as my iPhone. And I also have, for multiple shows, this here iPad with a cellular connection. And in this device is a Mint Mobile SIM that keeps me connected no matter where I am. And in fact, sometimes when my big carrier phone doesn't have signal, my Mint Mobile iPad still does, which is fantastic, and I love it. Mint Mobile is super simple. It is the future of wireless connection because it's all online and so simple to do. Mint Mobile makes it easy to cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month with their 3-month introductory plan. Every plan comes with unlimited nationwide talk and text. With Mint Mobile, you stop paying for unlimited data you're never going to use. You choose between plans with 3, 8, or 12 gigabytes of 4G LTE data, and you can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan, like I was just talking about, and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. You don't need to worry about rolling that stuff over or saying new phone, who dis, or posting your new phone on Instagram and saying, please everyone send me your numbers. No, you just keep the same phone you've always had and the same number you've always had if you'd like, and set it up with the Mint Mobile plan. Ditch your old wireless bill and start saving with Mint Mobile. So for you out there, to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month with its 3-month introductory plan and get the plan shipped to your door for free, all of that, you go to mintmobile.com/STT. Smart Tech Today. That's mintmobile.com/STT. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month with their 3-month introductory plan at mintmobile.com/STT. Thanks so much to Mint Mobile for sponsoring this week's episode of Smart Tech Today. We do appreciate it, and we appreciate all of you sponsors. Thanks so much. So I did want to do a little bit of follow-up. I talked about how I was going to be installing a backup camera on my car that's a little older than that new car I'm getting, the Rivian R1S.
Your Rivian, yeah. Your tank car.
My tank car with cool parallel parking. So all of this work was for naught. No, I wanted to install a backup camera on my vehicle, and so that involved some work. I texted Matthew because the UPS had a lot of deliveries to make. It was about to be the holidays. They didn't have mine to me on time, so I didn't get to start on it until a little bit later. But essentially it involved taking off the bumper of my car so that I could gain access to the backup lights on my car, splicing a connection from one of the backup lights to the rear view camera or the reverse camera. And what that allows is for the power to get to the camera only when the car is in reverse. So it basically turns it on. And then from there, running a video wire up through the side. So I had to take off the trim panels along the side of my car and feed a new wire all the way up to the front driver's side of my car, up through the side console, into the dash, and into the middle of my car, where I then installed the display, which is powered by the same cable that powers my aftermarket receiver that I have. And so I basically just spliced the cable in the back of that to feed power to it as well. So when the car is When the ignition is enabled, then the display will turn on, ready and waiting for the camera to feed it video connection to whenever you are in reverse. Of course, in doing that, I decided that, well, while I'm in here doing all these things, I might as well see what else I can adjust and fix and doodob and bebop with. So I kind of went a little bit on an LED bulb shopping spree. To be clear, I am not one of those fools who installs LED lights as headlights on their vehicle when
that's the worst.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It requires a certain lens and reflector to properly use LED lights in your car. If you have a standard lens and reflector in your headlights for your car that is meant to have the halogen or whatever the heck the gas is inside of them headlight, and you put LEDs in there, you are not getting, when you put LED lights in, you're not even getting the best possible brightness and vision that you could be getting that you would get from a premium bulb of the incandescent variety. You have to have a particular reflector and a particular lens for that all to work in the right way and to direct the beams in the same way that it happens whenever you use the incandescent bulb. So I'm not doing that because all that ends up happening there is that you are just blinding the person in front of you when you're driving with those on.
That happened to me on the way here to Vegas for sure. I was like, there's always like that one car where you see like 2 miles behind you and it's just like
bright
you're already
fog.
blinded.
It's like, is the Flying Dutchman coming for me? What is happening? And I don't want to be the Flying Dutchman. And so I don't install LEDs there, but I did want to replace some of my accessory bulbs that were, they're as old as the car is and they're incandescent. And so they take more battery power and they don't even shine as bright. So I did some work on basically replacing the bulbs inside of my car with LED bulbs because it's not that expensive to do. And then also the backup lights are replaced with LED bulbs because they have different lenses and reflectors. So it doesn't work in the same way as the big ones. So yeah, that's been kind of fun. And now I'm thinking it used to be that Pioneer was the only company that made so single DIN and double DIN, essentially in your car, there is a hole and it can either be a small hole or it can be a big hole. And the big hole is double DIN. The small hole is single DIN. For car enthusiasts, I know I'm simplifying that a lot, but just bear with me. So I have a single DIN hole and I didn't want to try and customize that to make it a double DIN hole in order to fit in a Pioneer CarPlay system. But Pioneer makes a single DIN CarPlay system. However, it is incredibly expensive and is probably at this point more valuable than the cost of my vehicle. Yeah. So it's not something that I want to do. It's not a fun thing at that point. It's a stupid investment. However, there's now another third party that has created a single DIN CarPlay experience. And so I'm considering getting that and replacing my current aftermarket receiver with it and testing it, at which point I won't need the display that I purchased because it will serve as also the backup camera display. So
nice.
We'll see if I decide to crack everything open again and do that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How long did that take you?
The camera thing took, I would say, because I have the tools already from being a person who wants to jack around with all sorts of stuff. So I didn't, need to wait on tools or anything like that. And I've been in my car digging around before for other stuff. So I would say 45 minutes to do it.
It's like, I feel like every time, you're right, the first time I do that, it would probably take me like an extra half an hour just to be like, I mean, you said you took your bumper off and stuff. Like that alone for me is just like, I've just never even done that. So it's like, oh, that sounds scary. Like peeling apart your car. But.
Yeah, it can be. The first time I did it, I had help from my uncle. This was years ago. And he basically led the whole process. But then after that, there's a great company that makes repair manuals for cars, and you can buy the manual online, and it shows you all the different components of the car. Some of them have animations and things like that too. And so basically, I just wanted to know what was inside of my car in the first place, what each part of it was, how everything worked. I just, I'm kind of a sponge that way. And so in learning about every little piece of Robin, ROBYN, I learned what she is made of and how she is put together, and then through that process was able to take her apart and add things to her. So yeah, it's not something that I recommend to everyone, and please, for the love of God, don't just go digging in your car without knowing what you're doing. I was about, it almost sounded like I was going to say I had to learn that the hard way, but no, I don't like to learn things the hard way. So I do all my research first. So you need to know that stuff because it is still an electrical device that can and is also, has a combustion engine. So you kind of need to be careful with that and make sure you know what you're doing before you go digging around and end up hurting yourself for sure.
And especially, it's just like you mess up your lights, you can't drive until you get that fixed too. Or I mean, you could, but you shouldn't drive.
And thank you, chat room. As they're saying, the company's name is Chilton, Chilton. That is the company that I got my repair guide from. There's also a company called Repair Surge that makes a good online manual, but Chilton really is the one. They often sell, like auto body shops will sell Chilton manuals for different cars. And, all the way down to the exact trim of your car, which is pretty cool. So if you want to know more about your vehicle in general, or you're thinking about adding some smart stuff to your vehicle, I definitely recommend getting a Chilton manual for it, and they have an online version that is available. It's funny, sometimes they'll show you the disassembly process, and then the process to reassemble, it just says, do the steps in reverse order.
Yeah, wow.
There's the website, Chilton DIY, and it looks sketchy as heck, but I have, used their
90s
system, and it's a Web 2.0. But I've used their system and purchased the product, and it works just fine for me.
They do have the new Twitter icon. They usually gets a sign when they have the old T. It's like, oh, man.
Use our other sponsor, privacy.com, which lets you generate cards that you can just use for this one site. And then, you don't have to worry about that. A 1990 Lexus, is that what that says? L5 LS400. Do they have the Rivian on there yet? I'm going to need the repair manual for that soon. Yeah, so that you can see these are all the different things that you could get for the 1990 Lexus LS400. Wow, a car that's older than I am. Interesting.
Oh, God. That's not older than me.
Well, it was 1989. I don't know if that was the year you were born, because it's always the year after. Okay. We are running out of time, so that means it's time for our bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum. That's the new jingle for Picks of the Week.
It's Picks of the Week with Micah and Matthew. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't. I have no singing talent, apparently.
You do. We just have to draw it out of you, or I need to go fight a sea witch who stole the shell that contains your voice. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll work on that. My Rivian can go 3 feet into the water, so I wonder if I can just drive to Ursula's castle.
My pick of the week is, I would say, a little bit more smart tech adjacent, but becomes very critical once you start to get more into it. And this is a cable management tray that I've been using underneath my desk, because I got my whole plugged in my lights, plugged in my HomePod, got the Google Home set up, and then I was like, check it out, to my girlfriend, and she was like, I cannot look at your desk, because it was in the standing desk mode, and there was just 18 cables hanging underneath. So these are just cheap little nice ways to manage your cables that I was prepared to route all the cables with individual wires on the ceiling of my desk, or on the underside of my desk, but I always move stuff in and out. I do tend to pick up my things, and maybe I need to get a stable desk setup going and not just change it all the time. But these are highly recommended if you are struggling with cable management.
Yeah, so I have 2 of those. They came with when I bought my sit-stand desk. At the time, the company was called Fully. No, wait, that's what it's called now, I think. It's called
I think so,
Fully,
yeah.
but at one point it was called something else. It doesn't matter. You can go to fully.com to see their sit-stand desks. And when I bought my sit-stand desk, it included 2 of those wire cable tamer things, the wire tamer cable management tray. And they gave you the screws to install in the back of your desk. They're still there. I still use them for wire management to this day. Any sort of wire management is fantastic. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that you should pair your wire tamer cable management tray with Velcro brand hook and loop fasteners.
Yeah.
That will help you manage your wires as well. I've just constantly got a package with like 4 rolls of those available at all times.
Yeah, same.
Once one is getting close to being empty, I order another one, and I've always got them. And it's a revelation in my family where every time I give them cables, because every time I visit, I'm like, okay, who needs a new adapter? Who needs a cable? Because I've always got extras. They always have the little wire tamers on them to keep everything nice and locked in.
I've managed to get my desk down to a single cable going down to the floor, which is awesome.
Nice.
And then I even have like my whole overhead rig thing that I have set up for a camera up above. I have that wired with HDMI and micro USB for the camera that goes up there.
Very cool.
But it's all Velcroed in. Exactly. So it's like, before it was like hanging down and would like get caught as I'm lowering the desk or something. And it was like this terrible, I was like, I'm about to break all my stuff. So this is like a manageable smart home.
Nice. Let's go ahead and move on to mine. These are on sale right now, about 40% off the price. And now that we've got video, I will be showing this, but of course I'll talk about it as well. This is the ecobee Switch Plus. It is a smart switch that is an in-wall smart switch. So it is, power on, power off for your lighting, but it has Alexa built in. Now, it works with the Google Assistant. It is an Apple HomeKit enabled device. It works with SmartThings and it works with IFTTT, but it has Alexa built into it. So on the front of the device, well, there goes part of it. The front panel, it has a little speaker and the microphone array is in here as well. And then it turns on and off as it normally would. And you connect it to whichever, wall outlet you want to use. But then each of these becomes a small device for controlling Alexa. So I can set up timers with it. I can do all of the Alexa stuff that I would normally do. If I wanted to, for some god-awful reason, I could have it play music. It wouldn't sound great because it's a tiny little device that doesn't sound great. But
play Smart Tech Today.
But yeah, I could exactly have it play Smart Tech Today on there if I wanted to. But it's also it's got an ambient light sensor built in, motion detection. And so you can use this as an ambient light sensor and motion detector to provide access in your home for those sensors. So, hey, whenever this detects motion, turn this light on for this long, or if there's ambient light below this level, then, keep the lights off. And of course, then it pairs with the ecobee. It pairs with the ecobee switch it pairs with the ecobee thermostat to provide the stuff that the ecobee room sensors provide. So that's super cool because it basically gives the thermostat more places to detect the temperature of your house and provide a better heating and cooling experience within your home.
Nice.
You do need a neutral wire for this to work. It requires the neutral wire. As far as I know, the only devices I've used, the only HomeKit enabled devices I've used that do not need a neutral wire are the Lutron Caseta dimming switches. Those are the only ones I've come across that just have line and load and a ground. All of the other ones require the neutral wire. So for Matthew Cassinelli, who lives in an older home, sadly, this is not an option unless he hires an electrician to come and upgrade the wiring within his home, which is something that I think would be good for a long life personally. But
Somebody on Twitter actually reached out to me. I haven't verified this yet, but I'm pretty sure he's part of ConnectSense, and I think they have a smart wall outlet that works in any outlet. But I guess maybe this will be one of my future projects, is installing this and hoping everything doesn't go wrong.
Oh boy.
That does remind me also, I've been using your advice. I should do this for another future project, is the not the Wemo smart outlet, but what's the one that has the light on it? The
iDevices.
Yes, I did. I took your advice and I unplugged it from the sound machine in my bedroom, and I'm putting it now as like a little ambient sensor. But it's like I have to set up all these automations for it and stuff like that so that it can actually like turn red when it's gonna snow or something. I don't know. I guess it must be snow in California.
Yes.
But it was like for like 5 days we didn't have it on the sound machine in our bedroom, so we'd always be in bed and then be like, dang it, now we have to go turn the thing on again. So
time to get another smart switch.
Yeah. Oh, I was like switching them all around because I had one in the guest room that seemed pretty excessive. So I've got it all set right now.
Yeah. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of the inaugural episode of Smart Tech Today in video, live in color with Technicolor lighting, RGB space. Smart Tech Today. If you have questions,
premium HD content.
Thank you. 4K HDR.
Except not.
Yes, not in 4K, but maybe in HDR on compatible devices that we decide. Okay, if you have questions, thoughts, concerns, feedback, or anything in between, first of all, you don't need to send your give us video emails anymore. This is taken care of. We have done this. You are welcome. But you can email us at stt@twit.tv. Of course, you can tune in live. We record the show Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, 2300 UTC. You just head to twit.tv/live. And you can see you can see links to all the different places where we're streaming live. We chose this time because we wanted it to be when folks are done with dinner. They're sort of at home, available to stream and hang out with us if they want to. And at least, in the United States. And to those of you who are joining us from other places, we appreciate you. You can, of course, subscribe to Smart Tech Today now in new formats by heading to twit.tv/STT. You head there, it'll have links to the different ways to subscribe, including the new video feeds. Matthew Cassinelli, if people want to follow you online, particularly right now while you're doing all this cool CES stuff, where can they do so?
The best place is probably youtube.com/Matthew Cassinelli, and then also MatthewCassinelli.com. I'm trying to do a new shortcut every weekday. So far I've done 3 this year, which is pretty fun, and I'll got to go do my other one after this. Maybe something CES themed.
Ooh, that'll be great. You can follow me online at Mikah Sargent at pretty much all of the social things, or head to chihuahua.coffee. Yes, that's a real website at chihuahua.coffee, which has links to all the different things I do. That's going to take care of it. We've got the subscribe. We've got the follow us. We've got the email. All that's left is to say goodnight to your smart assistants.
Good night, Lost Siri. I don't know. God. I always try to come up with something clever, and it rarely works. But.
Oh, that's what makes it great.
Good night, Las Vegas.
Oh, the city that never sleeps. That's New York. Don't
yeah.
fight me.